So you're looking to move to Detroit or the Metro Detroit area, but you don't just want to buy any home. You're looking for a new construction or a new build home. So in this video, I'm going to give you all of the information that you need to know about buying a new construction or a new build. And I've personally gone through this, purchasing a new construction home for myself and my family, and I've helped other clients purchase them as well throughout different cities all around Metro Detroit. So let's jump into it. If you're new to the channel, my name is Nick. I'm a top producing real estate agent here in Metro Detroit, Michigan. I've helped hundreds of families and individuals both buy and sell homes throughout Metro Detroit. So if you're into that or you're looking to do that, whether it's 1 month or 1 year from now, make sure to get a hold of me. My contact information is in the description below. And until then, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button. That way you're notified of all of the new and upcoming information surrounding Metro Detroit and the housing market. All right, so as I mentioned in this video, we're gonna cover everything that you need to know about buying a new construction home. So if it's something that you've been thinking about and you might not know the next steps to take or the costs that are involved, we're going to cover everything that you need to know about the steps in the process of buying a new construction home, the cost that you need to be aware of, as well as some tips that I have now that I've been through the process on not only helping clients buy new construction homes, but I've personally bought a new construction home for myself and my family. So let's jump into it. We are first going to cover the process of purchasing a new construction home. As always, the first step in purchasing a home is to get a pre-approval letter. So make sure that you're speaking with your loan officer or your lender in the area. I always recommend going local and going with a loan officer so that they can shop for different options for you. But the first step is getting pre-approved. The biggest reason that you want to go through this process right away is number one, it's going to help you determine your affordability and your price point. Most people tend to look at affordability as in the max purchase price that they can go up to. Instead, I challenge you and I challenge my clients to think about what is your ideal monthly payment, and then work that backwards with your loan officer or with your real estate agent to make sure that you're looking in the right price ranges, but more importantly, where you're looking as far as what city, what neighborhood, and so on. The next step in buying a new construction home is to find a builder or find a community where a builder, a reputable builder, is currently building. So when it comes to new construction, you have a couple of different options. You can either purchase a property that is being built in a community of a new build community where there's multiple houses going up in one area, or you can find a builder to customize your own home where you purchase the vacant lot and then you build on the home. But either way, that next step is to figure out which of those two options you want to go. Do you want to go to a neighborhood where there's already an existing community or a neighborhood being built and put up, or do you want to purchase your own lot, hire your own builder, and build on it? Next up is going to be to choose or build your floor plan. So if you are purchasing a home with a builder where you're buying a single lot and the builder is only building that home, you're going to have different options depending on what they are willing or able to do. They might have a few floor plans for you, but in other scenarios, you might be able to bring a floor plan that you are most interested in and bring that to them to decide whether or not that's something they can do, and they'll engineer and do the architecture around it. Now, if you're looking in a new build community, you might not have the ability to pick your specific floor plan. More often than not, those communities have a set 2, 3, 4, or 5 different builds that are going up, and those are the set floor plans that you are stuck with. So make sure that you speak with the city or the community representative. They usually have a model home, that first home that they build, so that you can go through, walk it, get a feel of that model. They might have separate models of all of their different building structures and floor plans. So make sure that you get well aware of that, and you can do that with your real estate agent as well. Next up is making your selections or designing the home to fit what you're looking for. In new build or new construction neighborhoods where communities are being put up, they will typically have different floor plans and different renovation or design styles that you can choose from. Call it A, B, and C design, where you have A cabinets and paint colors and countertops, and you have this selection, then you have all of your selections that you could go for B and then C. And generally they'll go up in price depending on what material and what design you go for. And there's other communities where you can design the entire thing. You'll go to their design center, and this is what myself and my family did, was we were able to design and custom make the home based off of the floor plan to the cabinet color, the islands, the paint, the hardware, the shower fixtures. You go to the design center and you're able to pick what you want, but keep in mind, and we'll get into this when we talk about the hidden cost or the cost of purchasing a new build, when you're buying a new build or a new construction home, the base price is what you get with the base model or whatever comes with the home. Any upgrades or design changes that you want to make are going to come at an additional cost. All right, so now that we've talked about the steps in getting ready to purchase and then going to purchase a new construction home, let's talk about the cost involved with purchasing that new construction property. The first cost is the most obvious, and that is the cost of the home itself. If you're purchasing in a new construction community, again, you're going to have what's called the base price. This is the land or the lot, because you are paying for the lot itself, the building on top of it, and then the base design that comes with it. The second cost, and I mentioned it just a second ago, is the cost of the lot. So you're not only just paying for the house structure, but you're also paying for the lot itself. Now, when you're purchasing an already existing home, this is something that's worked into the sales price, but you don't always see it on paper as cost of the lot, and then cost of the property itself, and then cost of all the design. It's all wrapped into one. But on a new construction home, you will see that the lot has a designated price for it, and then the building itself has a separate price. The third cost that comes up with purchasing a new construction home is your closing costs. Now, closing costs tend to be the same, whether you're purchasing a new build home or whether you're purchasing an already existing property. These are going to be things such as prepaid taxes, insurance, any title fees, any lender fees that you might have. If you're going through the lender with the new build community, because they have a separate section of their business that also loans on properties, they might have different incentives, and we'll cover that as well. So they might have different costs, but the closing costs in general are going to be the third cost that you need to keep in mind. The fourth and final cost, again, is the cost of upgrades or the design to the home. So like I said, more often than not, when you're buying in a community, they're going to have a base package of what the property comes with: the cabinets, the colors of the paint, your hardware, your flooring, the carpet design. All of those different things are going to have a base package that they're already going to put in the home. If you would like to upgrade or make any changes to that, it is going to come at an additional cost. It is not uncommon in our market, within the Metro Detroit market, to see the base of the home price come, and then with all of the upgrades, on average, you're probably increasing your purchase price by around $50,000 to $100,000, depending on the design and all of the other upgrades that you're wanting to do on the home. Now, one thing to keep in mind, although the $50,000 to $100,000 in upgrades sounds super expensive, the one thing with new construction that is very nice is that although the price of the property goes up, ultimately you're only paying the amount of the down payment and then the closing costs associated with it up front. So it's much different than if you were to purchase a pre-existing home and then put $50,000 in renovation, where you're paying a contractor and handyman $50,000 out of pocket. When you purchase a new construction home and you're doing all of the upgrades, it's baked into the purchase price, meaning that if the cost of the property were $500,000 and then after all renovations were to go in, it was an additional $100,000 to put you at a purchase price of $600,000. Although that $100,000 is baked in, again, your down payment only increases on the $100,000 that you have increased, put design into the property. You're not coming out of pocket the total $100,000. All right, so let's cover some of the other things that you need to keep in mind when purchasing a new construction home. And the first one is going to be incentives. Oftentimes, new build communities will offer incentives within their purchase price, meaning that they're going to give you X amount of dollars towards your closing costs, towards upgrades, whatever the case may be. I know for myself personally, the community was offering $7,500 in incentives, which basically gave us the ability to say, okay, we're going to now take that $7,500 and put that towards our closing costs, or maybe it allowed us to go with the top level of countertops and cabinets instead. So just different things to keep in mind, and you want to make sure that you know about and that you're asking the representative at the new build community. New construction communities will also offer, if they have a lending department within the community, they will also offer incentives on the loan side of things from the lender that you can then put towards a rate buy down or towards your closing costs. Another thing to keep in mind when it comes to new construction properties are the interest rates. One of the things that most people are not aware of when it comes to the interest rate on a new build community is that you cannot lock the rate prior to 45 days out from closing. New construction buildings generally take anywhere from 6 to 12 months, unless you're doing a larger build or unless you're doing your own design on the lot and hiring the builder. Again, on average, they take about 9 months to be built throughout the Metro Detroit area. And you cannot lock your loan as you go under contract, because then the property still has to be built for 9 months. and then you would close on the property with the rates from 9 months ago. So they don't allow you to lock until about 45 days. And by lock, I mean you are paying for and locking in the interest rate that your property is going to have. Next up is I always recommend that you work with an agent. Now, when you go into a new build community, they generally have an agent that's allocated to the sales side, and they are working for that new build construction company. The reason that I recommend hiring your own agent is because they're going to work on your behalf and your behalf only. If you decide to go with the new construction or the new builds agent, keep in mind they are a sales representative of that new build community. And so they're doing everything that they can to make sure that the properties get sold and that the movers can move to a new community and start to make more money in that fashion. So again, you just want to make sure that you have a trusted real estate agent on your team to go through the entire process to not only help you and dissect the purchase agreements, to also move through inspection to make sure that everything is going smoothly, the contractors are on the timeline, everything is getting the permits that they need, and that everything moves to a smooth closing, but it's an agent who's working on your behalf and your behalf only. One thing to keep in mind with new construction communities or new construction homes is that you get what you pay for. And what I mean by this is that the smaller construction teams or companies generally have a reputation to build. And so they're going to have higher quality, a little bit of a slower build time, whereas your bigger companies who are putting up hundreds of homes, if not thousands of homes every single year, are about speed and efficiency. All right, so next I want to cover a few tips that I have, not only being through the process and helping clients purchase new construction homes, but also being through it myself and purchasing my primary residence that's a new construction. I want to cover some tips that you need to keep in mind outside of what we've already discussed. The first one is do your research. I absolutely recommend, just like any other home buying process, that you know what you're approved for and you know exactly what you're looking for, because where you're going to be looking will be determined on what you want in a home. My next tip is to shop around. There are so many different builders throughout Metro Detroit, Michigan. They offer different floor plans, different pricing in different cities, different designs. So make sure that you shop around. Even if you see something that you like, maybe look around at another 2 or 3 different new build or new construction communities. That way you know exactly what you want to do. And I'm speaking from experience on this because we actually went with a company that was building in multiple cities. And every city we went to, although the same company, had different models, had different designs. One of them had only 3 options that you could choose from and you were stuck with it. The community that we ended up in was you could design the entire home to your liking. You weren't just stuck to 3 different options. So make sure that you're doing your research and make sure that you're shopping around. My next tip is to make sure that you get absolutely everything in writing. This goes along with getting your own agent. They're going to be able to help with this. And again, if you're looking in the Metro Detroit area, I would be happy to be that guy for you. But make sure that everything is in writing. If they offer an incentive verbally, make sure that that's put into the purchase agreement or into an addendum. If they're telling you the price is going to be this, then make sure that the price on all agreements is in writing and it actually matches. My final tip is be patient. It is so exciting to go under contract on a new build home. It's also very exciting to go under contract on a pre-existing home. The pre-existing home is going to generally close much faster, whereas a new construction home is going to take some time. Do your very best to be patient. Take in the entire process. Take in where you're currently living and make the most of that situation. And then also be very patient because it does take time. The new construction communities are on timelines and they want to be efficient, but you also want them to build with high quality, which means quality is better than the speed of what they build your home and the construction that goes on. All right, so there you have it. Hopefully you feel more educated and that you can make a better decision whether or not new construction is for you. And if you're going to purchase a new construction home, hopefully you feel well equipped and educated to be able to make that decision and move forward. And if you're looking to do that, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help you throughout the process, answer any questions you might have. And if you're looking for videos on specific cities, the pros and the cons, the cost of living, what it's like to live in those cities, make sure to check out the rest of my channel where I dive deep into different cities all around Metro Detroit, Michigan. And until then, I'll see you soon.